Part 2. Millennials. What up? So I've talked about the attitudes and the rudeness. I've talked about, perceived, by the way, and the perceived laziness. But I want to talk about something real with millennials, and that is the rate of depression and suicide that has increased as generations come along. And it's only going to get worse as long as the problems occur. And it's proven. Many psychological studies have shown this. The suicide rate in people has risen. Okay, it hasn't been this high since the Great Depression. And the reason is because, it really all started with millennials the way that they are, and it's not because the millennials are millennials. It's the way that millennials were taught and raised. So, for example, let's talk about dopamine. Yeah, let's talk about it. So, you send a text to someone, and you get a text back. You write an Instagram post, and you start getting those likes. You write a Facebook post. I get this a lot. And you get your likes. You get your really cool comments. And you put a picture up, and people are liking and calling what you put up beautiful or nice or funny. You get a rush of dopamine. You know what else gives you a rush of dopamine? Alcohol. When you do drugs, when you gamble, when you smoke cigarettes. Dopamine is addictive. And whenever you get addicted to something, if you have to stop doing it or you stop doing it, it psychologically messes with your head. And it can cause depression. So that's why you see somebody who gets unfriended on Facebook and all of a sudden their lives are done. It's happened to me where I've been unfriended and it's like, oh man, this is the worst day ever. It's like when you post a picture and somebody says something negative about it. Oh my God, that color does not look good on you. Even if it's polite, I think a beige would have done better for your cheeks or whatever for ladies. And for guys, okay, guys don't care. But that can ruin a day because we are so used to that adrenaline rush and that dopamine rush of likes. Ding. We text 10 people and nobody replies because maybe they're all busy. We get upset because nobody wants to talk to us. We feel alone. And it's because that rush of dopamine is gone. We don't have it when we want it. And that can cause depression. Guess what else happens? Withdrawals. And when it comes to the mind, mental withdrawals are worse than physical withdrawals because physical withdrawals will go away. Mental withdrawals can kill you. Because you'll be thinking nobody loves me, nobody cares. Nobody cares if I'm alive, so I don't care if I'm alive. Hey, look, a gun, bang. And I hate to be so graphic, but that's how it happens a lot of the times. Another reason is, honestly, participation trophies. If you're dead last in something and you get a trophy, guess what? For the person who went first, their first place trophy means nothing because the person that went dead last got a trophy. And the person who came in dead last, who got a trophy, guess what? They don't feel so good about their trophy because it's a reminder that they came in dead last. And it's always there. Like, hey, I did it, as in I participated. Thanks for the reminder that I didn't do anything really. You also have people who are telling their kids, hey, yeah, you're special no matter what. And yes, you are. Everybody is special. But nobody is more special than anyone else, especially in mass. You might be more special to your parents than anybody else. You might be more special to your boyfriend or girlfriend than anybody else. But to Tom, Dick, and Harry across the street, and Sally, Sue, and Mary across the other street, you're just who you are. You don't matter as much as other people do. And that reality comes crashing down when you get into the workforce. And you've got also, like, when I was a kid, when I got in trouble in school, my parents and my teachers yelled at me. I got in trouble. Now your kids get in trouble at school, you and your parent are yelling at the teacher because the teacher somehow had to have screwed up. There's no way little Tommy could be that bad, right? But yeah, kids today are not taught, and millennials were not really taught to accept responsibility. And they were not taught how the world works. They were taught that words hurt, and they were taught that the way you deal with words hurting you is not to face the word, is to go run and hide behind other people who can who can re-bully people, 5 and 6 people at a time, because you're not taught how to face it. You're not taught that when you're told you're ugly, to deal with it. You are told to run to somebody and say, oh my God, he microaggressed me because he said I was ugly. Kids today are taught, and I'm serious about this, kids today are taught that if you're a girl and a guy says that you're beautiful, he automatically wants to have sex with you. And if you're told beautiful in a certain way, like, oh my God, look how hot you are, yeah, that's considered sexual assault. And when kids like this go into the real world, right, they learn, first of all, no, your participation trophies don't matter. You go into a job and you don't do your job, you're not going to get a participation trophy because you didn't do your job correctly. You're going to get fired. No boss is going to look at you and go, oh my God, look, you're such a special little person. Here, you have the job. Oh, look, you want a raise? You can have a raise because you're special. You've only been here 2 days and don't know jack about this job, but here's your raise. Oh, you're cold? Oh, you're so special. Let me raise up the heat for you, even though everybody else is wearing like suits and will be hot. No, you are not special. You are just like everyone else. You were there to get a job. You were there to work. They're not going to care. And when that reality hits you, and when reality hits you in the face, when you get called something and you go and you run and tell someone, oh my God, this person called me this, they're going to look at you and go, okay, call them that back. Unless you're hanging around with other little snowflakes. And then you're going to turn into the bully and get told that you're the bully. And the thing is about the psychology of the human mind is, when that happens, you become confused as to who you are. And all that leads to depression. All that leads into a conflict of personality and your own personality. Conflict of thought, conflict of action. All of that. And because you're not taught to face reality the way that reality actually is, it is a shock to you when you have to. And that is why the suicide rate and the rate of depression in millennials and the generations after are so high. So I don't know if I'm going to make a part 3, but I'm thinking about it. Let me know if you want one. I love you guys. Mwah!